Online students, is my voice is clear? Online students, yeah, guys. So let's start the session. Okay. So in the last class, we are discussing. Okay. Who is listening? Semblance. So in the last class, we are discussing about the neural networks. So within the neural networks, we have discussed the perceptron model along with the ANN model. And we have discussed here. First, I'm starting with the one more time design. This is the last class for our neural networks. Okay. So design of neural network. First design followed by how it works plus how it works. These are the 2 points. How it works. So these are the 2 points, guys. In the first point, design of neural network, where we are going to design the neural network by selecting the first input layer, and within the input layer we are going to give the input neurons. This is the first one which we are going to have within the design of the neural network. First step, we have to start with the input layer by giving the number of input neurons, by providing number of input neurons. Then followed by, we are going to add the hidden layer. In the neural networks, we can add the hidden layer. So we are going to add the hidden layer. So add the hidden layer. We are going to add the hidden layer and number of hidden neurons. How many number of hidden neurons we want? Number of hidden neurons. Now, here, what are fixed, what are not fixed? Means first, number of input layers and number of input neurons are fixed. So I'm going to write here parameters which are fixed, heading as parameters which are fixed and parameters which are not fixed. So which are not fixed means we have to try the different values which are not fixed, right? So parameters which are fixed, parameters which are not fixed. In that, first one is input layer, number of input layers fix, number of input layers fix, that is equal to 1. We cannot change that. Second, what are other things are fixed means number of neurons, number of input neurons, that is also fixed. We can't change that one. Number of neurons is equal to number of input variables. How many number of input variables are there? According to that number of input variables. This is also fixed. Number of output layers, output layer. Whereas number of output layers is equal to 1. This is also fixed. Number of output neurons. Number of output neurons is equal to, this is also fixed, which is equal to 1 for regression project, varies based on project, varies based on project, type of project, varies based on the type of project. But number of neurons are fixed. Okay, number of neurons are fixed. Here also, this one is fixed and this is also fixed. So these are the things which are fixed, and along with the activation function, whatever the activation function is there, the activation function, okay, we on hidden layers, activation function on hidden layers, on output layer. First, activation function on hidden layer is also fixed. There is no difference. That is equal to ReLU only we have to use, obviously. ReLU. And second, activation function. What are the activation function is there? Activation function on output layer. What are the output layer is there? That is also fixed. But what is that fixed means? Varies on the type of the project. It varies on the type of the project, but it is a fixed one. It is not going to change. What is type of the project means? For regression project, we have to use how many we have, what is the activation function we have to use means ReLU. Whereas classification project, for binary classification project, what are the binary classification project is there? For binary classification, we have to use the sigmoid. Whereas for multi-class classification, we have to use the, for multi-class classification, we have to use softmax. So these are all the fixed. Everything is fixed. No one can change anything in this. Okay. Now let us discuss about the parameters which are not fixed. The parameters which are not fixed. Okay. Within the parameters which are not fixed, right? In this, the first one is number of hidden layers is not fixed. You can have the hidden layers 1, 2, 3, 4, anything. Number of hidden layers not fixed. Second, yeah, please everyone write first parameters which are fixed. Once you have completed means I'll explain which are not fixed. Number of hidden layers. How many number of hidden layers we have to take means number of hidden layers are starting from 0 to infinity. Starting from 0 to infinity. Zero hidden layers are also, it is called as perceptron model. Zero hidden layers is called as perceptron model. Right? Number of hidden layers is not fixed. Next, after the number of hidden layers, once the number of hidden layers are completed, next one is number of hidden neurons. Number of hidden neurons. This is also not fixed. Starting from 0 to maximum, we can take the 2 into input neurons. That is the maximum number which we can take. That is also varies. It is not a fixed value. Number of hidden neurons are not fixed. Next, number of hidden layers and hidden neurons, both are not fixed. Followed by number of epochs is not fixed. How many number of epochs we have to use? It is not fixed. Similarly, what is the batch size? The batch size we are having, there is one more option called as batch size. That is also not fixed. What is meant by batch size we'll discuss. In the flow we'll discuss in the next. And within the fixed one, okay, we are also having the initial weights. What are the initial weights are there? We are having the initial weights. Initial weights are also fixed. What are the initial weights are there? You are going to have the initial weights as uniform. The initial weights, we call it as kernel initializer. Kernel initializer, which is equal to uniform. We are going to use the uniform. Kernel initializer is equal to uniform. So what is meant by kernel initializer means, which is nothing but weight initialization. That is initial weights. Now what is meant by uniform? Uniform means it is going to take from minus 1 by, I cannot write that one, so I'm using this pen, minus 1 by square root of input neurons to plus 1 by square root of input neurons in between. Minus 1 by square root of number of input neurons to plus 1 by square root of input neurons, that to uniform distribution. With an example I'm explaining here. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 input neurons are there. 3 hidden neurons are there. 3 hidden neurons. This is input layer. This is hidden layer or output layer. What are the next layer? Second layer. If this is the last layer, it is called as output. After that something is then missed, it will be considered as hidden. Now between these, how many connections will be there overall? So first neuron will be connected with the 3, second neuron with the 3, third neuron also with the 3, and fourth neuron also with the 3. So 4 3s are total how many values? 12 values. You are going to get these 12 values between 1 by how many number of input neurons are there here? What is the number of input neurons? 4. 1 by square root of 4 2 plus 1 by square root of 4. That is nothing but minus 1 by 2 2 plus 1 by 2. Minus 1 by 2 2 plus 1 by 2. That is nothing but where you are going to have the in terms minus 1 by square root of 4, that is 2, that is minus 0.5. Between minus 0.5 to plus 0.5, you have to take the total 12 weights. What are the 12 weights are there? W1, W2, W3, like this 12 are there now. So total 12 numbers you have to select from where to where. What is the starting number to what is the ending number? Minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. What is uniform? Uniform is 6 of them should be negative, 6 of them should be positive. Out of 12, equal distribution. How many negative numbers you are going to take? That many positive numbers you have to take. Sir, for example, let's take like this, sir. 3 are there, 3 are there. 3 threes are 9. 3, this one, this one, this one, this one, like this. 3 threes are 9. 9 weights will be there between them. Now, what are the 9 weights are there? Between these each and every neuron 9 weights. Now 9 weights, how I can divide? 4.5 weights that side, 4.5 weights this side. No. You can take 5 negative values. Okay, what are the 5 negative values are there? You can take 5 negative values, 4 positive values. Okay, one number difference is not a problem, guys. You should not have out of 9, 8 of them positives and only one number negative. You should not take like this. When you are having the even number of connections, even number of weights, when you are having the even number of weights, how many negatives are there? That many positives will be there. Both will be the same. When you are having the odd number, that is 3 into 3, 9 neurons are there, 9 connections are there or 9 weights are there. When you are having the odd number only, one of the category will have slightly one number more. Not much difference, only one number. So for example, this side, I'm having the 10, sir. Okay, 10 neurons are there. Right side, I'm having the 3 or not instead of 10, I'm having the 9. Okay, total 9 neurons are there. 9 neurons. This side only 3 are there. 9 into 3, how many total? 27. Now 27 weights. What are the 27 weights has to be selected? Out of 27, how many positives, how many negatives miss? 13 positives, 14 negatives, or 14 negatives, 13 positives. Anything is okay. It is going to select randomly. Between what? Between minus 1 by square root of 9 to plus 1 by square root of 9. It is not every time minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. It is total number of neurons here. This is in the square root. You are going to write the number of neurons. That is weight initialization. That is also fixed. No one can change that. So this is fixed, this is fixed, this is fixed. Here what are not fixed means these are the things which are not fixed. Okay, everyone is clear now? Next. So here first we are going to see the design of the neural network, guys. Let me show you the Python code, how to design the neural network. You only have to design the neural network. Then you have to provide the data. After that, you have to provide the data. So just I'm going to show you the code for design of neural network only. Ignore the remaining code. I'll just focus only on the design of the neural network so that you can understand very clearly. Now, first, here I'm having the data like this. First, we should know what type of project. Otherwise, we can't even design the neural network. First, we should know the what type of project we are working. Here, the project we are working is regression project where we are having the 4 input variables and 1 output variable. The output variable is energy, which is a numerical format. So it is called as regression project. Now, what are the regression project we are working here? I'm going to show you the design. So this is the design of the perceptron model. First, P model is equal to sequential. Sequential means what are the order of the neurons I'm going to write? You have to take in that order. In that, first one automatically comes under input layer. Last one comes under output layer. In between, anything will come under hidden layer. Fix. Whatever the order I'm going to give you, you have to take in that order. This is sequential. Sequential means order of the layers. Now, within the P model, sequential where I'm going to store P model. Sir, what is P model, sir? Any variable name. Choice is yours. What are the name you want, you can give. Variable name only now. Left side is variable name only, right? P model means from my perspective, it is perceptron model. That is the name I have given. Now, here I'm going to add the input dimensions is equal to 4. What is input dimensions is equal to 4 means input layer of 4. That is the meaning. Means starting whatever you are going to do, that is input layer. Now units is equal to 1. What is meant by units is equal to 1 means side to this 1 neuron side. Next to that 1. Now dense means connection. This one, this one, this one, this one. So at a time, how many layers you have to take means 2 layers you have to take at a time. Because by taking only 1 layer at a time, connection cannot be done. So you have to give the connection. Connection means nothing but dense. This is called as connection, guys. Dense word is called as connection. So to give the connection, we require the 2 layers. Now what is the activation function is equal to ReLU. That is applicable on input layer or on this layer. This is output layer, hidden layer. We don't know. Why we don't know? Because after that, if you write another layer, it comes under hidden. If you don't write another layer, it only comes under output directly. We also don't know what layer it is. Activation function is equal to layer. What is meant by activation function is equal to layer? Means this is going to take this. This is the neuron which is going to collect the information. So for this, it is applied the ReLU. Next, kernel initializer is equal to uniform. Kernel initializer is equal to uniform means weight initialization is equal to uniform. That is minus 1 by square root of 4 to plus 1 by square root of 4. That is minus 0.5 to plus 0.5. I'm going to select any 4 values. Out of 4 values, 2 should be negative, 2 should be positive. Now you select any 4 values within the given range. In this range only you have to select. Sir, this is only final answer. No, this is starting initialization, the first number only. After that, it will update the weights. Again, it will calculate. Already I told you earlier, whatever happens now, same thing. So here, first I'm going to take here minus 0.4, minus 0.25, plus 1.5, plus 1.0. So total 4 numbers I'm going to take. The first number is minus 0.4, minus 0.4, minus 0.25. Second one is 0.215 and 0.10. Total 4. Total 4. Out of which 2 of them are negative, 2 of them are positive, randomly. This is design of neural network. Completed? Everyone is clear? Design? Now, sir, after this, no, next layer is not there. No, sir. Next layer is not there means what this layer is called as? Output layer. Then what is this layer is called as? Input layer. Input layer is connected directly to output layer means what model it is called as? Perceptron model. Point is clear? Now, here I'm going to write the optimizer is equal to Adam. Now, what is meant by Adam? Adam is gradient descent. Gradient descent means every time you have to calculate the error, and from that error you have to reduce. Gradually decreasing the error is called as gradient descent algorithm. Gradually decrease the error. And what is the loss? Means every time you have told you that calculate the error now. What error you have to calculate? Mean square error you have to calculate. Which error you have to reduce every time? Mean square error you have to reduce. If you reduce mean square, automatically root mean square error also will be low only na. MSE is low means automatically square root of that value also automatically will be low. So my requirement is mean square error has to be every time low. What you have to calculate means mean square error. After calculating, how you have to go back and you have to update the weights means based on the gradually decreasing the error. That is called as Adam. Is the point is clear? Everyone understood? Now, here we are having the different types of optimizers, or we are having the different types of loss. Here we are going to use the Adam. Adam is gradually decrease the error. Every time we are going to use the same. It is the one of the best one where it reduces the value. There is one problem in the Adam. That problem we are going to rectify in the next concept called as batch size, which I am going to explain. Is the point is clear? Now coming back to this one. Now you tell me, according to this, what I have just explained for you. Now you tell me, what is this meaning? This neural network. NN1 is equal to sequential. What is meant by sequential means order. Now here I have taken the first add. Input dimensions is equal to 4. What is meant by 4 means 4 neurons. Input dimensions means automatically it is going to be input layer only. There is no other option. Input dimensions always fixed to. Next, units is equal to 8. What is meant by units is equal to 8? Next layer consists of 8 neurons. What are the next immediate layer is there? It has to have the 8 neurons in that. Okay, 8 neurons are there. What is this one? Activation is equal to ReLU. What is meant by ReLU? Should I apply the ReLU for the input, or should I apply the ReLU for this layer? For which layer I have to apply the ReLU? For this one. Why for this one only I have to apply means because it is only going to collect the information from 4 of them. So it has to process. So ReLU. Now what is meant by this kernel initializer is equal to uniform weights. So how many weights? 4 into 8. 4 into 8 how much? 32. So 32 weights you have to get from minus 1 by square root of 4 to plus 1 by square root of 4. So 16 positive numbers, 16 negative numbers you have to initialize. Now, okay, done. After that, next NNN dot add means already NNN is there now. This is on NNN. Na? From here to here it is already NNN. Add 8. Add 8 means what? Add additional 8 neurons. Add additional 8 neurons like this. Sir, but you told two layers at a time. No, sir. When you don't have 2 numbers, for example, I ask it to add. Okay, add the 2 numbers I'm saying to add. How many numbers I have to give first time? 2 numbers I have to give. For example, I have told you 5 plus 10. What is the answer? 15. Now add 20 for that. Add 20 for that means for which one you are going to add? For the total only you are going to add now. Now why I'm not giving the 2 numbers now? First time I have given 5 plus 10. But this time I'm asking to add 20. Next time onwards I have to give how many numbers? One number only, right? First time only I have to give the 2 numbers. For the 2 numbers, one total will be there, and this total only will be added for every time. First time 2 numbers will be there. Every time 2 numbers I no need to give. The total you will get add 40. What is add 40 means? For 5 you have to add a, for 10 you have to add a, for 35 you have to add a. For the 35 only you have to add. For the final output only add the next one. For the final output add the next one. For the final output add the next one. So first time you are going to write here 2 layers, that is 4 plus 8. Okay, you have written the 4 and 8. After 4 and 8, Now you are adding the additional 8 neurons for that. You are adding the additional 8 neurons. These are the additional. Now, what is this one? Units is equal to 1. What is meant by this? Add one more layer with one neuron only. After that, again add units, is there? No. Now, what is in this? Which one is input layer? Which is output layer in out of all of them? Starting one is the input. The last one is going to be the output. Simple. Is that clear, everyone? First, unit input dimensions means input layer followed by 8, followed by 8, followed by 1. Like that, you can add the multiple layers. For example, I want to add after this 4. Again, I want to add 4 neurons, guys. Tell me how to add additional 4 neurons, miss? Very simple. For the last one, already this layer is there. Already 3 are already available. You are adding the next step. How many want? You want 4. Like that, you add one more layer. Like that, you add one more layer. Continue to add. Wherever you stop, the last one is called as output layer. Now tell me here, out of these two, this one is output layer or 4 neurons is output layer? 1 neuron is output layer or 4 neurons is output layer? Means 4 neurons is going to be the output layer. Is the points are clear, everyone? Understood? There is no non-dense. Dense means connection. Connect the neurons. Okay, there is no non-dense models or anything. Connect the neurons. Is the points are clear, guys? Everyone understood? Now, hidden layers, whatever the here, we are not going to here, for example, 4 followed by 8. Okay. Followed by 8. Again followed by 8. Again followed by 1. You are having like this, right? First one is 4 followed by 8, followed by 8, followed by 1. You are having like this, na? Now, activation functions are applied on the each layer separately. In the first one, what are the activation function you are applying? Obviously, this is going to be this one. Here, what are the activation function you are adding? This one. For this one, what are the activation function you are adding? This one. For the next layer, if you add, next activation function. Layer wise activation function will be added. For input layer, anyways, no activation function. Right? So like this, you are going to add the activation functions. Now coming to the kernel initializer. Kernel initializer is not based on the layer wise. This is kernel initializer, guys. Okay. Followed by this is called as kernel initializer. Followed by this is called as kernel initializer. Here, what are the dense you are writing? In the dense, you are going to give the W values. Na? What are the W values are called as kernel initializer. W values. It is not based on the layer, connection between the layers. For example, okay, now everyone please tell me total number of connections. How many connections are there between these two? Only these two. 4 into 8. 4 into 8, how many? 32 connections will be there. Between this one to this one, how many connections will be there? 8 into 8, 64. Between this to this, how many connections will be there? 8 connections. Now total how many weights? 32 plus 64 plus 8. Total 104 weights you have to assign. Total 104 weights. 104 connections are there. So 104 weights will be assigned. Is the point is clear? Obviously, bias also, na? Bias also for every neuron. Weights is assigned means automatically bias also has to be assigned. Neuron wise bias. Every neuron will have the bias, as I've told you in the previous class. Okay, this is weight. This is weight. This is weight. This is weight. So total this neuron is collecting how many weights? 4 weights. But how many bias? 1 bias. Weights will be 4, bias will be 1. Fixed. Everyone is clear? And the kernel initializer only, what are the kernel initializer is there? It is only applied for the weights along with the bias for both of them. For both of them, same thing will be applicable. Everyone is clear? Design of the neural network. Now, if you want to add one more hidden layer, how to add one more hidden layer? This is assume. The last one is output layer. I can't disturb the output layer. Let's assume this is my output layer. So I can't disturb output layer. So in between you add one more. Before to that only you add. Like that you add one more. Like that you add one more. Like that you add one more. How many you want you can add now. Is the point is clear? Don't disturb the input. Don't disturb the output. In between you add how many you want. Is that clear guys? Everyone. The more number of hidden layers you add, the more amount of time it takes. Point is clear? More amount of hidden layers you add, the more amount of processing time it takes. Means to apply the max. Yes. Adding the input neurons. How many number of neurons to be cited in the input is based on the number of input columns. How many number of input columns finally you are using for neural network. Sir, for example, my data set initially was given with 10, sir. In that, two of them are unimportant, sir. Okay, two of them I have dropped, sir. One is serial number, one is name of the person. I have dropped, sir. 8 are there. In this 8, some of them are categorical variables. I have done the dummy encoding. After dummy encoding, it has created 3 new columns. Okay, total now 11. Okay, now I have applied the scaling or something. Finally, 11 columns are there. Finally, 11 are there. At the end, finally 11 is there. Now tell me, should I consider 10 or should I consider 8 or should I consider 11 input neurons? How many number of input neurons I have to consider in this case? Means 11 input neurons you have to consider. You should not focus on the raw data. Raw data consists of 10 neurons, but processed data. Process means after applying the data pre-processing, what are the processed data is there? That data consists of how many input columns? That is important for us. It is not raw data. Sir, for example, original raw data means first data whatever I have received, it consists of 40 columns, sir. 40. Out of which 39 are input, only one is output. Sir, in this, 38 of them are unimportant only, sir. 38. 38 unimportant. Only balance one is only important. Only one input column only important. Other than that, remaining 38 columns are waste columns only. Now, how many neurons I have to design? I mean, how many in the input layers, how many input neurons I have to take, miss? Only one. Only one. Is the point is clear, everyone? So after the processing was completed, how many neurons are, how many input columns are left? Based on that, we have to go. Now, can we apply the different activation functions on different layers? Means absolutely here, if you see, earlier I have told you, now activation function on the ReLU, fixed or not fixed? Fixed. Activation function on the output layer, fixed or not fixed? Fixed. Everything is fixed means then what you are going to change? If I have given here the option for change the activation function means you can change. Clearly I have written the activation function on the hidden layer is ReLU. Fixed na. In the fixed parameters I told you, right? So why to change unnecessarily? There is for everything there is one reason. Sir, why input layer should be one only? What is the reason? You are saying, okay, I have written also, okay. What is the reason? Reason is what? At the same time, activation function on the hidden layer, you are saying that ReLU. What is the reason? Why I can't use the step function, or why I can't use the some sigmoid function, or why I can't use the softmax function? All these things, different activation functions which you have explained for us. Why we can't apply? Why we have to go with the ReLU only? Miss, in multiple projects, ReLU has given the reduce the overfitting problem. Means it has provided the good accuracy. That is the reason. It reduces the overfitting problem. Now, I didn't explain till now what is overfitting. In the few minutes, I'm going to explain even that. Okay, overfitting problem I have to explain. Batch size I have to explain. Multiple things I have to explain. Once my explanation was completed in the next half an hour, with the theory of the ANN is completed. Only practical will be left. That practical which we are going to do in the tomorrow's class. By taking the two projects. Project number 1 is regression project. Project number 2 is classification project. Two projects we are going to do. Because ANN is applied only on the two. One is regression and one is classification. Let us complete tomorrow both of them. But before completing both of them tomorrow and going on further. Okay. Now today I have to explain some more theory concepts are there that which we are going to cover in the today's class. Now activation function, as I've told you, it is going to reduce the overfitting problem. The complete overfitting problem will be reduced. That is the advantage. Okay. So that is the reason we have fixed the ReLU. For example, sir, in my project, if I take another thing, then it is giving the better accuracy, miss, then you have to go with that only. 90% of the cases will use this, 90%. At the same time, 10% of the cases I told you now, you can have the different things. Generally for the hidden layer, nothing is fixed. Everything is fixed only for the input and output layers. Activation function on the hidden layer is basically not fixed. 90% of the times we are going with the ReLU. 90% of the time. Is that compulsory, miss? As per the rule, it is not compulsory. But 90% of the times will go. Nothing is fixed on the hidden layer. Number of hidden layers are not fixed. Neurons are not fixed. Activation function is not fixed. For hidden only, nothing is fixed. Okay? Everyone is clear? Sir, tomorrow you are saying that we are going to the projects, two projects. One is regression project, one is classification project. These projects are real-time projects or not? First question. Means we are going to work with the real-time projects only. We will not work with the dummy projects. Second, are we going to do the end-to-end, miss? Absolutely. Starting from the business problem to finally the model selection, we are going to do. Everything we are going to do in the sequential order. Starting from the business problem, followed by data exploration, followed by data pre-processing, modeling. Earlier you have written the steps involved, right? All the steps we are going to do in the sequential order. If you open that steps, what are the steps you have done earlier? Same steps we are going to do. I asked everyone to write separately in a separate paper on that day also. That data, that paper I want tomorrow. Okay, tomorrow I'm not going to explain that one. Again, I'm not going to write everything. So directly I will go into the things now. So bring that paper tomorrow. So what are the steps involved is there? Every step we are going to do. Now, in the class, I'm going to do the one or two models. One or two models. After the class, what is your assignment is, for example, one or two models I'm going to use now. I will get the accuracy of 88 some percentage. Percentage, if I want to say 80 percentage, I got the accuracy. Assume. Let's take an example, accuracy. Or if it is a regression project, RMSC. For example, I got the RMSC as 200, something like this. Now, what you have to do, you have to try with the other models. Other models means you only have to increase the hidden layers and you have to modify the hidden neurons, which are not fixed design. Everything you have to do a trial and error and you have to get the better model. That is your task tomorrow. So what are the project I'm going to give? For that project, one or two I will show you. Remaining things you have to do. Sir, the remaining things also you only can do in the class, no sir. So that we'll also understand clearly now. Miss, for doing the remaining things, I require the 6 to 8 hours. Generally, which we have to do in the lab. Instead of doing in the lab, if I do in the front of you in the class, daily 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour, 1.5 hour session, like that 4 sessions will be completed only for this one only. I have to try now. In the company, from morning to evening, what I have to do, that I have to do in front of you miss, how many hours I will do in the company? 8 hours I will do. That I have to do in front of you miss, you want to calculate. Daily 1.5 hours, how many days it will take? My 1 day's work in the company is 5 sessions in our regular class. Do in front of me only miss, what happens? My sir, 10 days, what are the project you have worked in the company? 10 days project is equal to 8 hours. Sir, do in front of us how you have started, how you have ended. Show us every step by step, miss. 80 hours, one project you have to spend, miss. Daily 1.5 hour. Like that, how many sessions I have to show you? Now you tell me, should I tell what I am executing? I have to show you the outputs. Now you tell me. You decide. According to you. Sir, why it will take 6 to 8 hours, sir? For writing the code, it will not take the 6 to 8 hours. Once you click on the shift enter, the processing time is there now. Epochs are there, right? That epochs will take time. Sir, epochs will take that much of time. One model will take at least 10 minutes. 10 minutes for one model, assume. I have to try multiple models now. Do you think that immediately next instant answer I'm going to get in the next 10 minutes, I'll get the answer? If I give the randomly like this, 2 power x plus log x minus x power minus 4 plus 15 is equal to 0. What is the x value? Tell me x value in next 5 minutes. I will give the 5 minutes for you. What is the x value? If I ask like this, complex equations, it cannot be solved. You have to do the trial and error, miss. You have to take some time. First, you have to start with the x value of something random number in your mind. Later, for that, you have to add some x value. If error is increasing, miss, you have to reduce the x value. If error is decreasing, miss, you have to still decrease, continue, and you have to try the different x value. Take this equation and try the x value, guys. Tell me. Write everyone in this equation only in the notes. Give a try. If you give a try of this equation by trying the different x value, automatically you'll understand the back propagation. What is meant by back propagation? Means each epoch. How the epoch works. First, you are going to take some random x value and you are going to complete. After that, you are going to take some more x value. Like that, you are going to try. Pure trial and error method. Using the trial and error method, I want the x value. Write this equation in the notes, and after the class, try this equation and tell me the x value after the class. I want for first in your how I want in the notes means you have to take x value is equal to some number. For example, 1. Let's take 1. For 1, whatever the output you have got. Here you will get the, for example, let's take an example 20. What is the original value? 0. But what you have got? 20. Now x is equal to 2. You got the 40. What is the exact original value? 0. Now should I increase the number or should I decrease the number? Decrease the number. Like then you are going to write x is equal to minus 1 or x is equal to 0. Now here you got the 10. Now what you will assume? Oh, from x0 to this one I am decreasing, means this is also decreasing. Like that you are going to try the different x values. For every xx value, tell me the output value. After the class, in the notes I want in this way. Sir, this is x value I have tried, sir. This is output was given, sir. This is x value, sir. This is the output, sir. This is the x value, sir. This is the output, sir. Like that I have tried, sir. Finally, this is the final answer, sir. Where the output is also 0, which is your requirement. This is the final x value. Like this I have tried, sir. Everyone give a try after the class. Now, if I say the condition in the next 4 times only, 4 random numbers only you have to complete, means it is possible. Huh? Only 4 numbers. You can't take more than 4 means it is possible. Huh? Or if I say maximum 40 means it is possible. Huh? Maybe, may not be. Who knows? Exactly for between the 40 numbers we may get, we may not get. Who knows? Exactly. If I say 10 numbers means who knows? How many iterations? Anyone can guess how many number of iterations it will take to estimate the value of x for this? Anyone can guess now itself without doing anything. Just guess the number, miss. Can you guess now itself the answer? Number of iterations I'm asking, not even x value. How much time it will take? Guess. Can you tell? It depends. For this equation one, how much time it has taken? Do you think that if I add for this one additional to this like this, I'll add a 44, 45 divided by x minus uh, 1 by 5. That is fifth root of 5. Fifth root of x. 45 divided by fifth root of x. This is also added extra. Now same number of iterations it will take. Earlier you have completed that one, calculating the x value in 4 steps or 5 steps you have completed, assume. Now was it will complete in 4 or 5 steps. Earlier you have completed in that 20 minutes. Now was it will take 20 minutes only. It's all depends on the data to data. Every data will not take the same amount of time. Every data will not have the same number of iterations. This point you have to understand very clearly. Most of the students will think that, okay, sir, I'm trying the 100 epochs, sir. In the 100 epochs only, I'm getting the answer. For this project, you have got 100 epochs. For another project, you may have 150 or 200 also. We don't know. Points are clear, everyone? Yes or no? No. Yes. Suresh. Yeah, for us, it is not necessary. It is not necessary to understand the mathematical background of neural net model, like cost function, partial derivatives of cost function, run optimization, and optimize the model. All these things. That much of what are the max you are expecting, na? With that max, finally you are going to complete the weights only. You are going to decrease the weights only, na? Now, there might be a student like you, one or two students might be where who are interested to calculate exactly the weight number. Before weight number, what? After that, what is the weight number? That is including the partial derivative along with the cost function and calculating the exact weight. For example, initial weight number is 4. Now, after that, whether it is going to take 3.8 or 3.9 or 3 calculation is there, na? That calculation of second weight, it's very less number of people will understand the max behind that. Okay, though if you understand also in the real time interviews, there will be no use. At the same time, while this practical application also, there will be no use. But particularly if you are asking for me, Suresh, since you are asking for me, I think on the day one also you asked the same question. Directly go into the cost functions or something. I think your message only, right? Okay, Suresh, just send me one mail to my mail, that is srk.nareshit, so that I'll share you the max behind that and you can go through once. And if you are having any doubts, I can solve for you. Okay, it is not compulsory. Compulsory advice, if you see compulsory advice means it is not compulsory. Additional, if you want to learn means that is your choice. If you share me something and sir, I want this one, that one means I can share you the notes and you can easily understand from that. If you still don't understand means mentors are there. At the same time, I am also there now. First, if you go through, I can support you. Remaining things. That too after the class. Because remaining students should not get confused. Done? Next, coming to these models, when you are trying the more number of layers or more number of neurons are there, large data sets are there. In that case, our hardware will not support. Sir, for example, I have collected one data set, sir. In that data set, 100 columns are there, sir. 100 columns and number of records are 10 lakh records are there. This is a good data set, sir, or bad data set, miss? Very good data set. Okay, nice. Sir, I want to work with this kind of data set, sir, where 100 columns only should be there. Absolutely, you can work. But here the point is your laptop should support. If your laptop doesn't support for that, what happens? That point you have to write in the notes clearly. What is that point is? Make sure this point everyone are writing in the notes. Guys, please make a note. Okay, what is the notice? SRK sir is not responsible for my laptop. Okay, you will think in a silly way, but I'm saying in a serious way. Okay, SRK sir is not responsible for my laptop. Tomorrow, when you are trying the more number of neurons or more number of epochs, one student will get a doubt. Sir, why I have to take one hidden layer or two hidden layers? At a time, I'll add 100 hidden layers, sir. Let's see what happens. See what happens. Your laptop only will go to the hardware shop. Give it a try. If you want to give randomly like that, sir, I will take like this, sir. What happens? Like that, what happens? If you give big numbers, very simple. Okay. Always remember, guys, learning is different, application is different. Now, in the LKG class, you instead of teaching 1 plus 2, the addition when you want to teach to the students, you have to start with the small numbers. Directly, if I teach the 558 plus 10,244, what is the answer, miss? Directly, if you start with these numbers, give a try. First time explaining the addition only directly with big numbers. What they'll say, miss? Chichi, addition is so difficult, right? So always make sure that when you are in a learner stage, start with the basic example, guys. First point, point number 1. Okay. Point number 2. Okay. Second, point number 2 is this. So don't give a try with the big numbers or data sets. Also try to choose a small data sets so that your laptop will support for that. Is the point is clear, everyone? Now, uh, yes, right, guys? Now, so here, as Suresh is giving some kind of course or something, in the market, we are having the multiple courses. Okay, we are having the multiple courses are available. With that courses, whichever you are interested, even in the YouTube also, ANN is available. In YouTube also, if you type just ANN, you'll get the multiple videos. In the courses wise, deep learning or something, multiple will be available. Just you can select whichever you are interested and understand the concepts. Final understanding is more important. Okay, that or this or something. Choice is yours. Okay, now most important, as I've told you, please don't try with the large data sets. At the same time, don't try with the, you have to understand the concept, or you want to understand, you want to feel that you have worked with a large data now. Sir, for example, let's assume now, as you are only saying right now, work with the small data. Small data means, so here, how many columns I have taken means 5 columns. And number of records are 10,000 records. Is this a small data or a good data or bad data means? It is a good data. Okay, sir, I assume I also have done in the similar way with 10,000 records having the 5 or 6 columns. Now, that same project, not this one, similar kind of one more project, similar, which is having approximately 5 to 10 columns, which are having the 5 to 10 columns I have selected and I have worked on that, sir. Now, in the interview, if the interviewer asks, what is the size of the data, miss? Now, I'm going to say this one, miss. Is that okay or not, miss? 100% it is okay. The interview will not focus on the size of the data. Interview will focus on the what concepts you have applied in that, how you have applied. Okay, though you have taken the 100 columns data set and you have copy paste the code, means there is no use, because interviewers will never ask the Python code. Sir, assume tomorrow there is interview, sir. Now in the interview, whether they'll ask me to share my screen, if it is online interview or offline interview, whether they'll ask me to write the Python code or not, miss, to write the code. What are the ANN code is there? Please write us, miss. whether they'll ask us to write the Python code, ANN Python code. Means answer is no. Never. Not even one interview. Not even one interview. Never they will ask the, sir, are you sure? Just if you are assuming that I am saying something, just type in the Google. Google is not designed by me. ChatGPT was not designed by me. Ask Google or ChatGPT. Interview questions on the deep learning. Yeah. How you have to type in the Google means interview questions. You have to type like this. Interview questions on ANN for a AI developer. Interview questions on ANN for AI developer. For a AI developer in any company of your choice. Write some company name like in TCS. So you'll get the in TCS company. What are the interview questions they'll ask? Some person will write now. Either you'll be redirected to LinkedIn or you'll be redirected to Quora or some websites. So in that websites, you'll see the questions. Observe any one question is there. Write the Python code. Is there or not? Tell me tomorrow. Observe and tell me tomorrow. Sir, observe means according to you, how many websites we have to see, sir? Never decide the first website. First website is not the God website. It is not designed by the God. Everything should be available in the first website means answer, impossible. It is not God website. It might 2, 3, 4. At least observe in the 4 to 5 websites. Okay. Sir, one of my friend has told that, sir, this Gen AI developers is not having the fresher role. Your friend is God, huh? One person only, na? How many people you asked that question? How many people has given the answer of that one? Before giving some conclusion, to how many people you asked the question? For example, one of my friend has told, what he has told is, in America, Kamala Harris only will win because he is from India. Na? Many Indian people wants to have the Kamala Harris instead of Trump. What really happened? One of my friend has told, but in the America, that many people has voted. My friend is not God, na? My friend has told Kamala Harris means Kamala Harris only will win, na? If my friend says that next year Rahul next 2000 what are the elections are there, Rahul Gandhi will win, na? It is not one person, guys. So that only we call it as sample size. That concept name is called as sample. So whatever the analysis you are going to do, minimum take certain things. Okay, go through at least 5 to 10 websites. From that 10 websites, sir, one website, one person, at least 10 of my friends has told me, I'll accept something. One friend has told me, your one friend is not God, Rababu. First point. One of my relative has told me, your relative is not God, Ranayana. Okay. Don't focus on a single one. How many people you ask? How many people has confirmed in that? Sir, I have asked 100 people, sir. 90% of the people has told this one only, sir. This is conclusion. Correct. This called as conclusion. Now, what you are saying is correct. One person has told, sir. One person means that is not called as conclusion, guys. Never conclude with any single one. Similarly, never while checking in the Google or checking in something also, never conclude with one website. You as a Gen AI developer, AI developer or ML engineers, for all these roles, research is more important. That is understanding the business problem is more important. So every person has to have the tendency of doing the research. Every person should have the tendency of what? Doing the research. What research? Research means what, sir? Enrolling the PhD course, sir? Not. Research means not that one. For what are the things we don't know, checking in the Google in the multiple websites is called as research. What are we don't know. What are we know, we don't need to check. What are we don't know, getting the data from others, by multiple sources is called as research, right? So always do the good amount of research, guys. Now coming to the actual point, after this class, okay, once the our project is completed, I'm only going to share you the multiple data sets. Okay, in your Google Drive, I'll share you. You can choose any one data set from that and you can complete the project. And that one you can write in the resume. Point one. Okay. Now, once you have written in the resume, now in the resume, after seeing your project and seeing your accuracy, everything, once they have called you for the interview, and if they have to ask in the interview, what is neural network and what are the questions of neural network means, what is the difference between sigmoid versus softmax? What is activation functions will do? Why, what is overfitting problem and how it will be reduced? How to improve the accuracy in the neural networks? These are the interview questions. After the class, I asked to check in the Google now. Please check. Don't conclude now again. Since I have told you, don't conclude. Check in the Google. Interview questions on topic name. What is the topic name? ANN. Type. You will get something. And what you have observed, you tell me tomorrow. Not now. Don't do now because topic was not completed. Multiple questions will be there. If some of the questions which I have to explain tomorrow's class. Did I told that ANN is completed? Till the topic is completed, with that topic, don't check the interview questions. Pandas is completed, check the interview questions. NumPy is completed, check the interview questions. Core Python is completed, check the interview questions. Data pre-processing is completed, check the interview questions. Outliers is completed, check the interview questions. Completed topics, check the interview questions. Yet to be completed, don't check the interview questions because that has to be completed. Point is clear? Sir, yesterday I have checked in the interview, sir. In the GenAI, they're asking the lang chain, sir. Lang chains we have to cover now, sir. Wait, sir. Who asked to check the GenAI course now itself? Interview questions on GenAI. GenAI was completed to check. Okay. Everyone will always have the tendency. This is common problem with many freshers and students. What is the common problem is they are going to complete. This is more important rather than in what in the completed one, within the completed one, within the completed, how much strong I am. Pandas was completed. If anyone asks me the question in the pandas, whether I will able to answer, that will everyone will forget. What everyone will focus? Sir, this was not completed, sir. When we are going to, sir. Sir, this was not covered, sir. Rather than that. Okay. For me, no problem, guys. For you only. For me, at the end, you can't change my order. You can't bring me to explain that one to the front. I will explain in my order only. You can't change that. Today, what I want to explain, that one only I'll explain. Tomorrow, what I have decided, that one only I'll explain. I can't change as per you. Unnecessarily, why you are thinking what to be completed, sir, when this will be done, when this will be done. Instead of that, within what we have completed, within the completed one, how much strong we are. In the data pre-processing, we have completed. How much strong we are. ANN was after ANN completed. How much strong we are. Tomorrow, if anyone gives one project to me and asks to do the entire ANN project, whether I can do or not. Always we have to focus in this way. Okay, this is my suggestion for you. Always fix in this. Where topic anyways one day will come. If you concepts will be completed, one day will come. By that day, this question only is most important. On the last day, which question will be left, miss? This question only will be left. Assume today is our last day. Tomorrow onwards, you have to apply for the companies. Now, what is the question, miss? Point is clear. Where you have to focus. Okay. I request everyone with this. Second, Always choose the small data sets. Please don't use the large data sets, or don't go with the directly with big number of epochs or more number of layers. First you start with the single layer only. After trying with the single layer, accuracy, for to add the two layers. Already I told you now how to do the tuning. Follow the pattern. First add one layer, followed by add two layers. Later you add the three layers. Different model. First model should have only one layer. Second model, first model even not having the hidden layer also. Zero hidden layer. Directly input will be connected to the output only. That is perceptron model. After that, you add one hidden layer. After that, you add the two hidden layers. Like that, you increase the layers till the accuracy is increasing. Is the point is clear? Everyone, make sure of this. Completely, I'm saying, guys, you are in the starting stage of the deep learning. If you know what you have to focus, where you have to focus, and how you have to practice, if you understand now, furtherly you can work easily. Now itself it is getting difficult, miss. Further classes will be too much of difficult. This is going to be the base class for the next topics. Right? Next, coming to the next one. Okay, what is the next one is? Here, we have designed the neural network. In the neural network, as I've told you here, the Adam. What are the Adam is there? That is optimizer along with the mean square error. Right? Now, next one is how to execute the code. That is, sorry, how to execute the neural network. Execution of the neural network. We have seen the design of neural network. Now let us see the execution of the neural network. That is how it is going to work. So first it is going to take the entire data. What are the entire data is there? This entire data, by considering the entire data, it calculates the RMSE, one-time RMSE with first weights, with initial weights. What are the initial weights you have given? With the initial weights, it calculates the RMSE. RMSE will not be calculated on the single record. How many records? For example, you are giving the 10 records. Let's take an example like this. 1, 2, 3. So two input variables are there. At the same time, one output variable. Okay. Now here rows are 10 rows are there. How many rows? 10 rows. Now first you are going to provide the first row here. It will predict the output. Write that one. Second row you have to send. With the same weights. Weights will not be changed now. Again you are going to predict. Third one, same weights. Fourth one, same weights. Fifth one, same weights. So what are the initial weight? For the first weight you have given, how many records are there? Every record you have to send into this, and from each of them you have to calculate the predicted value. Now once all the predicted values are calculated, from that you have to calculate the, what you have to calculate from that? You have to calculate the RMSE. From that you have to calculate the RMSE. For 10 records, overall for 10 records, you have to calculate the RMSE. Point is clear? Everyone, understood or not? So for 10 records, you are going to calculate the RMSE. This is epoch 1. Now update the weights. Again, you calculate the RMSE. Update the weights, calculate the RMSE. Like this, update the weights and calculate the RMSE. Now, to calculate the RMSE, what we require? For example, let's take like this. X 1, 2, 3, Y 4, 5, 6. Let's take an example. Now, here you are having the, or I'm going to take one more, X1, X2. This is, here I'm going to take 0, 4, 1. Something I have written like this. Now, two input neurons with one output neuron. Okay, this is the case. Now, to calculate the RMSE, we require input data or output data also required? Both are required or any one is required? Both are required. Why both are required? Because first 0 and 1 has to be given here, and it is going to give the y hat as the output. For giving the y hat, only input is sufficient. For predicted value, only y hat is sufficient, input is sufficient. Again, 4 and 2 you are going to send here, 4 and 2. And you are going to calculate the y hat. Here, these values are not required for me. For estimating the values, only input is sufficient. But after estimation, I have to calculate the error. Na? To calculate the RMSA, I require the error, right? For error, whether input is required now? Now, input is not required. What is required? Predicted value, output value. So now output value is required in calculating the error. So in calculating the predicted values, input is required. To calculate the error, output is required. Means both of them we have to give to the model. So we have to fit on x comma y. What is x comma y means? Fit. Fit means calculate. What you have to calculate? X data you have to substitute here and you have to predict the y hat, and you have to calculate the RMSE. Like this, how many times you have to write the RMSE calculation? 100 times. So I have written here epochs is equal to 100. Already I told you what is meant by fit. Fit means calculate. What it has to calculate? RMSE. Here whatever you have written, here something you are going to write now. Whatever you have written here, that one only will be calculated. Here, if you write the mean square error, means mean square error will be calculated. If you write something else, means something else will be calculated. Whatever you have written here, that will be calculated. For calculating that one, input is required, output is also required, along with the epochs. Now, the problem is, okay, so here, within the ANN, okay, so within the ANN model, already I told you all these things. Now, next we are moving on to the first calculation of y hat. After y hat was calculated, it will come back and it will update the weights. First step what? How the neural network learns. First, in the neural network, as I've told you, weights will be given, x values will be given. Based on the weights and x values, it is going to calculate the sigma wxi plus b followed by activation function. And what are the estimated value is there? From that estimated value, what are the estimated value is there? From the estimated value, it will calculate the error. First, in the forward direction, it will calculate the estimated value, y hat. But original value will be there. With the original and predicted values, what you are going to get? Error. With that error, it will come back and it will update the weights. Coming back and updating the weights only is called as back propagation. This is called as forward propagation. Forward. With the weights and x values calculating up to y hat is called as forward. Based on the y hat, modifying the weights is called as backward. So now you are going backward and updating the weights. What are the weights are there? You are just updating the weights. Now what are the weights are updated? Okay, you are going to calculate from the updated weights, and finally we are going to reduce the overall error. What is this Caesar cost function? That is nothing but overall error. Every record will have one error. Record wise error will be there. But overall records errors is called as RMSE. Individual record error is called as a normal error. Point is clear? Now, what are we are having here? Gradient descent. What are the gradient descent means? So gradually decreasing the error. First time you got this much of error. Sir, what is first time error, sir? First weights, initial weights. First you'll take one weight now. For that you got this error. Later you have changed. And based on the weight, now again you have got the this much of error. Can you see here? When this is here, C. C means nothing but overall error. Overall error. First time you are having here. Second time, this is the value. The C value was reduced or increased? Reduced. Next, you are changing the weights. Based on the weights, again now the C value was reduced. Next, followed by change the weights. Again, I am changing the weights. With the change of weights, again the C value is getting reduced. And finally, you are going to get the minimum value. So here, you are finally getting the minimum value, but it is highly dependent on the initialization of weights. Initialization of weights. So I find the minimum value like this. Within the given data, I find the minimum value is only gradient descent. Now the problem with the gradient descent is, for example, if the curve is like this, in this entire curve, where is the minimum value, guys? Where is the minimum value in the entire curve? Here. But the problem is when I'm going to assign the weights here, starting weights, when I'm going to assign the weights, it is going to give me, this is the minimum error. Because from here to here, it is going like this and it is coming to here. For example, if I initialize the weight here, this is going to give the minimum error here. If I initialize the weights here, the minimum error will be here. So it is completely dependent on the initialization of weights. Understood the point? So for this reason, what they have done is they have divided the data into multiple batches. Now in this batch, you initialize the weight. Somewhere you initialize the weight, automatically the minimum value will be here. In this, somewhere you initialize the weight, automatically the minimum value will be here. In this, you initialize the weight somewhere, the minimum value will be here. In this, you initialize the weight wherever you are interested, finally the minimum value will come here. Now, total how many minimum values are there? Total how many minimum values? 4 minimum values. Within this minimum value, still least value, what is the least value? This one. This is called as global minimum. Sir, explain the global minimum in a simple example. Instead of this one, simple example first. What is a simple example means? I'm having that in the Naresh IT, four batches are there for me. In that, one of the batches 6 p.m. batch. Here I have conducted one exam. One of the student has got the top marks. What rank he is called as? First rank student of this class. Like that, in every class, one topper will be there, na? Now I want overall topper, not batch-wise topper. Understood? So in every one batch, I will get one topper. Between the toppers to topper, if I conduct one more exam, in that again I'll identify the best person, right? I think most of you know this cricket matches. They will divide into the pool A, pool B like this. First, they'll conduct the matches between them. In that, who is the topper? Only the toppers will be sent into the semi-finals. Why others will not sent into the semi-finals? They're already the toppers. Now, between the toppers, I want the who is the best. So, identifying the global minima. To identify the global minima, I'm identifying the multiple local minimas. Sir, here how many batches, sir? For example, if I create these many batches, how many? Batch 1, batch 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 batches I have created. Now in 6 batches, 6 minimum values will be there. 6 local minimas will be there. In that local minimas, one only will be the global minima. For example, if I divide this one into the 20 batches, 20 batches you have divided. Now how many minimum values will be there? 20 local minimas will be there. In every batch, one local minima will be there. Overall global minima will be again 1. Point is clear? So just we are going to divide the entire data into multiple batches and we are identifying the global minima value. That is only called as stochastic gradient descent. There is a problem with the gradient descent. Gradient descent will identify the local minima. But what I required? Global minimum. So to get the global minimum, we are using the stochastic gradient descent. So what is meant by stochastic gradient descent means divide into multiple batches. You have to divide into multiple batches. That is the reason earlier I told batch size is not fixed. The batch size is is of generally 2 power n. 2 power n. 2 power n. That is, you're going to take the batch sizes like 2, 4, 8, that is 2 cube, 16, 32, 64. Generally, the batch sizes would be this one. We have to try. We have to try. Batch size is not fixed. Everyone is clear? Generally the batch size would be 2 power n. Now what is batch size means? Dividing the entire data into multiple batches. Why? Why you have to divide means to identify the global minima. For example, ICIC World Cup is there. Total 16 countries are going to play the ICIC World Cup. Assume. For 16 countries to 16 countries, if they conduct, matches will be more. Like IPL matches, it will come. For IPL, only 8 teams are there means only we are getting that many matches. Now for 16 countries, so many matches should be there now. But instead of conducting that many matches, but they want who is the best one. Generally, who is the best one means we have to conduct multiple matches. But without conducting that many matches, still they are concluding. How? First, they are dividing into the groups, and within each group, they are identifying who is the topper. And from that topper, again, they are identifying who is the best. Same logic is applied here. Everyone is clear? Understood or not? Up to here. So from here, we'll continue in the tomorrow's class, guys. If you are having any questions, please ask. Done? Yeah. I'm going to upload the notes in the drive. You can cross check. Just in few minutes, you can check. In the drive, I'm just uploading the notes. After data transformations, ANN only. Na? Next, we have discussed the models called as ANN only. So I'm going to upload the ANN notes. Yeah, Khan. We are going to discuss the tan H function in the further tomorrow. Exactly. Okay. Sir, but weight initialization is based on the, as we discussed starting of, yeah, weight initialization, where I have told you that one, minus 1 by I2, comma 1 by E in the starting class. Did I told in the starting class? Everyone, could you check once?